Live.
Now we're live, Dave.
Now we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to the Gamble Globe live stream. Special guest Mark from Cowboy Slots.
Hey guys.
We're going to be here answering questions, shooting the shit, drinking our drinks. What are you drinking there? Yingling Lager?
What is that? Blackberry cider?
Yep, that's Austin East Ciders, Blackberry Cider.
Oh, okay. Have you ever had the Austin, what is it called? It's a pale ale. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's really popular in Austin. They used to have the 100-pack that you could buy.
You mean Lone Star?
No. I'll have to look it up.
Because Lone Star did come in a 100-pack.
I'm going to find it while you're talking.
Natural Light.
No, come on, man. It's a pale ale made in Austin.
I don't know this one then.
Yeah. It's because you
Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Appreciate you being our moderator.
Hey,
tonight.
Tammy. Hey, guys. Peacemaker.
So I just got back.
Peacemaker.
I haven't heard of that one.
What? Oh, it's excellent. It's very good.
Comes in a 100-pack. That's always classy.
Well, they did that for a limited time, but it was literally like it was the same size as a 12-pack of soda, but it was like a mile long.
This super long.
And so you couldn't even put it in your car.
They did that with Lone Star and Natural Light for a while.
Oh, did they?
I think
Okay.
Blue Ribbon did it too.
I got you.
And Mike B came into the house. Motivational
Hey, what's up,
here.
Mike?
Right. Welcome, guys.
Motivational.
So I just got back
Moxie's
from
here.
Arkansas. I was playing at Oaklawn Park, which it's an interesting casino. You gotta check it out sometime. It's not wow, but it's not awful either.
So they have casinos in Arkansas.
Yep.
I didn't know
Most
they had
of
them
them
in
are
Arkansas.
Indian casinos, like Saracen Casino. It's just south of Little Rock. Really nice. I like it a lot, actually. I like the layout. You know, I'm a big design guy on the casinos. It's got to be designed right. It's got to lay out right. It's got to make sense. Theirs just works. And I think it's really amazing. Oh, sorry about that.
That might be me. I turned echo cancellation on, so maybe that'll help.
There we go. It was Mark. Wasn't me, Mike.
Yeah, you can blame it on me. It's fine. It's not like I've ever done this before.
But they did a great job designing that casino in Saracen. And Oaklawn is really a horse racing track that they added a casino to, and then just did a major remodel. The casino looks great. It really does. But I just don't really like it. It's just not, I don't know. Something about it.
Does it feel like it's a casino just to be a casino? Like they're just trying to facilitate gamblers that are addicted to gambling. And so it's just slot machines every corner they can put.
There's a lot of slot machines, probably more than there should be. I don't like the high limit layout at all. And the games are just at best. They do have one pinball. You know, sort of like not the old school, not the new school, that S2000 pinball. 3 credit, $5. They have easy money. They just got to flip it out. Double easy money. Not a single top dollar in the whole place. And it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. I'll go because, you know, you go. But I played Huff and Puff, Huff and More Puff. Got the hard hat bonus 6 times in roughly 40 spins, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But every bonus was like $60. Well, I spent $61 getting the bonus.
I've noticed I've watched a lot of it, and I've played a little bit of both, but not a whole lot. But it seems like the bonus rounds were actually better on the original than the new one. Because I've seen even people that get the mansion bonus, you know, most of them are coins, and they're all the mini. And it's not that it's not amazing. Like the mini is pretty terrible on a brick house. But you compare that to a bonus round on regular Huff and Puff where you end up getting brick houses. It seems like it's always picking higher values. And maybe that's what they did in that one, is that because they added more features and stuff that you can get, that they lowered the overall averages that you can get on the bonus rounds.
If you get the mini times 4, it is pretty good.
Yeah.
But you have to get a lot of them to be really good.
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact. This has never been said publicly before, and Gamble the Globe is going to get to that is exactly the comment that I was going to talk about. Fun fact, because I asked Anthony when we were there, Anthony, the guy that created Pinball and Top Dollar, did you have anything to do with Easy Money and Flipping Out? Because I know you left IGT for a little while and you went to WMS. And he said, yes, I created both of those games. Because it had his name written all over it. Like, it was the same style. But he did say he had nothing to do with the sounds. So I forgave him for that.
Now,
yeah, he was a creator
Moxie,
for those. He brought those to WMS.
That's awesome. I got to meet this guy because this guy sounds like a guy I need to play with.
Let me tell you, Dave, we had a blast. He sat down. This is probably the highlight of the thing that we did. And I'm not saying this to make you jealous or anything. You'll get out there.
Yes, you are. You're totally trying to do it to make me jealous.
Okay. No, we went out there and we were playing and filming, and Anthony came up beside us and used his own money and played double Top Dollar right next to us. And it was probably the most. I have to send you some pictures. It was pretty fun. But he was sitting there playing, and he was getting horrible bonus rounds. And he's famous around IGT for being one of the worst gamblers with slot machines ever. Like, he creates the things, but he's just never lucky, right? And so anyway, I'm sitting there filming his bonus round, and it was really bad. Like, it was the 9-line version, and I think his last offer was 40 credits. It was really bad for that one.
That
and
hurts.
I was like, man, who produced this game? He's like, yeah, that guy's an idiot.
That guy's a jerk.
That guy's a jerk. So, and it was him, of course. He's the one who created it. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun to hang out with him for sure.
If he had gotten the 1,000 credits, you just almost assume he's got some kind of button in his pocket, just beep.
Well, the first thing he said when he sat down,
the
first thing he said when he sat down is like, "Let me pop this thing for you. I'm going to go ahead and trigger this bonus." I'm like, "Wait a minute, can you actually do that in a casino?" And he's like, "No." So
yes, the thing is, you never know. It's like,
no, you don't. You don't. And he knows that they're gambling machines, and he's bad luck at them. He still played it because he loves the game, of course.
He's got the super secret. You hit the service light.
Push the service button 4 times.
Push the service button 4 times.
Yeah, pull the handle twice.
Like from Ocean's 13, where it's like you put in the coins in a certain drop order, and that made a jackpot. I'm like, okay, seriously.
You're
stretching on this one.
Did you ever watch Ozark?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that whole scene on the riverboat. Did you watch all the seasons?
Yeah, and I'm like,
and they're just like, they're showing the camera. They're like, oh, use your cell phone camera and you can find the patterns on when to press stop. And I'm like, oh no, there's another show that is putting that out there, and yikes. More uphill battles because people watch the show and then they think, maybe there's something to this. Maybe that's
there are no patterns.
There are no patterns.
I'm going to get the motivational Moxie's comment real hit here. Moxie, I got to tell you, if I can't find any other game that I like, I will play Easy Money or Flipping Out.
Yeah.
If I can't find Pinball, I can't find Top Dollar, I'll play it. I'll regret it, but I'll play it. But I've done well on it sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I do well, I leave right away. I do not stay.
Yeah, I think the math is – I didn't ask him this, but I think the math is pretty similar on both of those games. Now, they do have a little bit of like Double Easy Money has a little different, take on the bonus round. That doesn't have the times two. It just has the 1 times 2. That might light up. It also has the extra bonus. That's something new. And then Flipping Out has that new extra shot potential where you can get it in that little, bucket over there on the far left. And you can get an extra shot. And you can get more than one, extra shot. And so I'm thinking, because he produced that game, I'm thinking that's where he got the extra shot idea on the new pinball. Absolutely. He took it from that and brought it over to pinball and redid it. He loves the new pinball. He said that was the best game that they've worked on in a long time. He just absolutely loves it. So
if they'd have kept it double diamond or triple diamond, I would have loved it as much as the original pinball.
Yeah.
I don't care how many lines it is, but if it was still the core game, I'm just not a fan of the double gold. I never have been, even at any time.
I don't play double gold ever, regular double gold. A lot of people love that game, but yeesh, that's one way to suck your money dry.
Oh, huge. It's like playing Black Diamond.
Yeah.
The swings are just so huge.
Yeah.
Yes, you can win. And I've seen you win at it. I've seen you win at it pretty good.
Double gold?
But
oh, the pinball. Yeah.
Yeah, double
But
gold
you know
pinball.
what? Here's the thing, though, and somebody actually said this in our forums the other day, saying, "Oh, the new pinball is great. I keep getting some really good bonus rounds." Well, you got to put everything in relation to what you're used to, right? So, regular pinball, single line pinball, is a 2 or 3 credit bet. So we'll keep it simple and it's $1, okay? So if you end up getting the bonus round on classic pinball, single pay line on a 2 or 3 credit bet, your average bonus round is usually around like 85 or something like that. Okay. So 3 credits bet, 85. Well, on the new pinball, it's 10 credits bet, but usually it runs between 200 and 350 credits. Somewhere in there is kind of what I see in the average. I don't know. You've played it too, Dave. The new pinball, it seems to always, sometimes I've gotten as low as like 150, but it's usually between 200 and 350 or so.
Yeah, right about
now
there.
That in relation to a 10 credit bet, it's pretty much almost the same, right? It's just different. You have to put up more money to get that return instead of less money to get the same return in relation to your bet on the old classic pinball. So it's kind of deceiving. Like it makes it feel like, wow, these new ones are so much better because the bonus rounds are huge. I get 200 or 300 credits. Yeah, but you're betting 10 instead of 2 or 3.
Right.
And so you got to consider
think about that.
Yeah.
Your bet multiplier on your bonus.
I mean, if I went into Aria and I played the $50, I've only done this once, but the $50 or the $25 2 credit pinball in the Aria high limit room, that's a $50 bet. If you do get, and you can even watch Stacy to figure this out too. If you do get the bonus on that, you are almost guaranteed to get more than 50 credits. It's usually between 55 and some crazy ones like up to 200. But that same $50 bet on the new pinball, you're going to get anywhere from like $1,500 to $2,500, and it's not as much.
Right.
The difference is that the line hits are more frequent on the new pinball than they are on the old one. And this is what Anthony told us. He said, so it kind of softens the blow a little bit. It gives you more play time to get to that bonus. But all things considered, they're actually pretty equal when it comes down to it. So just something to consider.
When you look at the new pinball versus the old pinball, I think one of the big things for me is the loss as a win. Because you can, on the new pinball, you can win not your full bet back. But on the old pinball, if you hit something, it was automatically at least your bet. You get a cherry, at least your bet.
Right.
So now you can actually lose even though it looks like you're winning.
That's right.
And that's like one of the most.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. What you were saying.
I mean, that's one of the most things where everyone kind of traces. So over on your other channel, you don't mention other channels, but here we do. So a certain professor likes to go with any win is a win.
Yeah.
Now, I am very much, and you know this, that a win is anything over your bet.
Yeah.
If you're betting 10 and you win 9, you've lost 1.
Yeah, you did not win.
You did not win. The machine made you think you won, and that's how it's designed. Because there's nothing like wins to keep us playing. Even they're a portion of our bet.
I have this on the machine I have in here. It's not in here right now, but I could load a bunch of different games on it. I think at one of the live streams I did on Home Slots, I loaded a game that has 9 different reel sets. You could play all 9 at once. So it's really mesmerizing because you got these 3 reels, 9 times on the machine. But the funny thing is that every single spin produces a result because you have thousands of pay lines on, these different reels. And so it's very unlikely that you'll do a spin and get nothing. But it's always your bet less than your bet. So if you're betting 900 credits, it's like 220 or 130 or whatever like that. But every single spin does produce some kind of result, but it's always a negative result. And so I used to kid like, "Hey, I found the machine that has the ultimate taste because it gives a result every single spin." So
Hey,
it's,
but that's like playing Wonder 4. You're gonna
yeah,
get something
same thing.
somewhere,
Yeah, same thing.
but it's not gonna be what your one bag.
Yeah,
And that to me is the worst thing, is trying to convince someone that that's a good machine if you're constantly losing, because you're not winning. And the penny machines are the absolute worst at this. There is no one
oh
worse
yes,
than
yeah,
any of the penny
nailed it.
machines.
Yeah,
Spending 225 a spin, which, if you're gonna play 225, play a 5 credit quarter machine. There's your 225 a spin right there, and your odds are 5 line top dollar. Your odds are way better than
yep,
on the 225 at Huff and Puff, which I love. I love Huff and Puff. I love playing that
right.
game. But when I play it, I know it's going to
Exactly.
aggravate me. It's going to frustrate me. And it's not going to win unless I hit the bonus. I'm not winning money on it unless you hit the bonus. But some people are just like, "Oh, I'm winning." Like, you're being teased. It's like, go to a strip club. You're not in love. That girl's not in love with you. She's in love with your money. That's the casino and slot machines are strippers. And they're all going for their masters in education, and they're all looking to make that money.
I think that is one of the reasons why, I don't know why this is such a hot topic, but people keep debating on why, I say that 5-line Thunder Cash is better than 10-line Thunder Cash. And it's not because the bonus frequency is different or the bonus round pay is different or anything like that. It's simply my personal opinion. If you play the 5-line version, if you get any win, any pattern or anything, you at least get your bet back. Or if you do the 10 credit version, that's not always the case. You can get half of your bet back because you're exposing more lines, but reducing your overall pay potential. So for me, I like playing games that I at least get my bet back when I get a win, because it feels like I got an extra spin out of it. It's easier to just keep myself from losing control of exactly what we're talking about, where you bet 300 and you get 225 back, or you get 45 back. Excuse me. And it's just
like, what happened?
It's a slippery slope. Like, you just see your overall bankroll just drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. It's just a slow punishment,
It's a slow bleed instead of just stabbing you once and done.
Right.
And it's like, and you're playing top dollar, you get the cherry. I got my bet back. Yeah. And then you get the ultimate of cherry, double diamond, top dollar,
and the bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's the ultimate win right there.
It is.
There is not a better way to win the bonus than that.
You've got 10 or 20 credits going into the bonus round.
And they'll get 5 credits.
If it does give you 15, you don't feel so bad.
Right. So the other channel we'd ever want to mention is the Lucky channel.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to go down to Marc's, and I had the whole trip planned. We were going to come down there for the day. I was going to do some filming with Marc. We were going to do a live stream. My truck broke. Long story. It's in parts right now. But I wanted to film how it works, how Lucky makes it all work.
Yeah.
And it's repetition. Mm-hmm. If I film you doing the same thing with the same number of dollars on the same machine, take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, and I only show you the 5th take where you won, then you don't see the other 4 takes. It's just camera editing. That's all it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But people are fascinated by it. He knows how to win. And I'm like, he doesn't know anything more than anyone else.
No.
If anything, he knows less.
Yeah.
Because
and here's the dangers of that. I mean, you already described one danger, but let's just take the sample of the people that actually win. Okay. And they're on camera winning. I'm going to say it. They are effed for life, because they now think it's that easy, to use his own damn term against him. They think it's that easy. So what are they going to do the next time they go to a casino and they're not part of the D Lucky experience or whatever? They're going to be into trouble, because we always used to joke around, like, the worst thing that can happen to a gambler is for them to get a huge jackpot the first night they go to a casino. Because they're going to...
Case in point, we know someone like that.
Exactly.
First time they gamble, jackpot.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I'm going to keep playing.
Yeah.
And then you get into that gambler's folly of I always win. And sometimes you do great and you do great. Then you start going down and you start chasing.
Right.
And then you start getting deeper and deeper into that chase.
Yeah. And then you realize, wow, this is not as easy as it seems. But by then it's too late. By the time you realize that, it's too late.
Exactly.
So education is important, guys.
All right,
you want to do some of these questions?
Have some questions here.
Yeah, let's do some of these questions.
I like this question from Way Too Alpha. Welcome. I'm going to visit Vegas soon and want to start playing at Cosmo. I like Cosmo. Cosmo's nice. How much coin in should I put through the slots to get a room and maybe free play offer to come back? Love your channel. Appreciate it. So don't chase your comps. Now I've got a video on that. Go back and watch my video series on comps, 3-part series. Never chase comps. Let them happen.
Yeah.
Don't try to pay for a room in what you're gambling. Try to gamble and have fun. If you win, great. You're going to get offers anyway, no matter what. I guarantee you. You walk into Cosmo, you put $20 in the machine, offers are already being generated to mail you out the next day. You're going to get, sometimes you get emails before I even leave the casino.
Mm-hmm.
But don't chase those comps. Let them happen through the normal process. If you're going to do anything about chasing comps, then maximize on offer days and do it smart. Watch my series on that about how to play smart and grind those out. And I don't recommend grinding out comps. I say this to everyone. I do not recommend grinding out comps because I do it doesn't mean I recommend it. If you're going to do it, be smart about it and stay within your budget. You know, I know Marc has a lot of comps. He doesn't have to worry about grinding out comps anymore. But us little people here still have to.
Well, no, it's because of the longevity of it. Like I've been going to MGM properties for so long and I never spend my comps. I mean, my wife and I will go do something at MGM properties every 3 or 4 years and blow through all those comps. But it takes a long time to grind those sometimes. This is the reason that now they recently changed it, which was unfortunate. But the nice thing about MGM for so long is that I would go out there and I would only gamble with a couple of $100, not that much. But I would charge everything to the room. I would pay for the rooms. I would do everything to the rooms and I would get points because of that. And because you just keep doing that, you just slowly start to build up this credit with the casino. And if you're never really spending that credit, because I always kind of just wanted to see how much I could bank, you know, because the rooms are cheap anyway.
I want to retire on comps one day.
Yeah, I could have gotten those rooms comped on some of the trips, but I was like, you know what, this is kind of a competition. Let's see how much I can build off on such little gambling funds, you know. And it does pile up, but it takes time. It takes a long time. When you've been going to MGM properties for 20 years, your loyalty is king, and that's not a large part of the formula, but it's pretty significant of how long you've been going and playing at that property. They definitely look at that stuff. But you can certainly low roll. The good case is the Cherries Jubilee. We talked about you can get massive amounts of coin in on Cherries Jubilee just because of the payouts that you're getting. And so if you play smart and you play those games and you just slowly grind, you will end up with a couple $1,000s worth of comps eventually. Like it will happen. But you just got to be patient and just try not to spend them and then pile them up, you know, then take your spouse out and have a good time.
Brand loyalty.
Loyalty is huge. Yeah.
I used to be a huge Caesars loyalty until they changed their program and now MGM matched their program essentially. But you stay with the casino. I'm so bad at this that when someone says, hey, do you want to go to this casino? And I know I'm going to Vegas soon. No, I don't want to go because I don't want to spend dollars that I know can get me a return some other place. And I really have a hard time with it. I got to actually make myself go to a non-MGM property. But Cosmo is technically an MGM property, even though the systems aren't there yet.
Yeah.
The last update I've heard is December.
This has been going on for 1.5 years now, though. So I don't.
So I have found out what the dispute is. The problem is the points from Cosmo to MGM. They're arguing on the points conversion because Cosmo has a very loyal following in itself. People really love Cosmo. People really love MGM. Well, MGM is essentially the gold standard in all players' programs. So they're having a problem bringing over Cosmo points on what changeover. Do you do 2-1? Do you do 3-1? And so the last I heard was they're trying to get it into a 4-1 on MGM size, and Cosmo wants a 2-1, 1-1. And that really don't think that's going to happen from MGM standpoint.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard.
It makes sense that they would argue over something like that because, I mean, from the technical side, I've heard that it's just trying to combine the two systems has been problematic. They're still separate, but MGM can access the Cosmo system and Cosmo can access the MGM system.
And
that's
you can
actually
build back
for a while.
Yeah, and you can build back to your MGM rewards, or use your MGM rewards at the buffet, Wicked Spoon, and some of the restaurants, but not all the restaurants. So any of the food court upstairs, none of those work yet.
Still, yeah.
So it's so complicated. They've done an awful job. But have fun at Cosmo. It's a great casino. I love the layout. Go to the Chandelier Bar, and you want to order the Verbena cocktail. If you're going with more than one person and you're not big drinkers, order 2 flowers with 1 cocktail. It's an experience. You got to try it. It's absolutely an experience. I'm not going to give anything away. You just got to do it. I tell everybody you got to do it.
Yeah,
Mark, we still have to go there. Yeah,
I know. And also check out the secret pizza restaurant there too.
Oh, and the speakeasy in the barbershop.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's another one. So I feel like that's the same for pinball. And he's talking about the offers.
Oh,
good bonus, quick, and leave. That is the smartest thing to do.
It is.
I wish I could do that.
I know.
I get the bonus.
Usually, when I get a good bonus or something, I usually will leave.
Couple spins and go.
Around. I'll do a couple spins, of course. I always do backup spins. It kind of depends on the size of the win. Like if it's a hand pay or something, and I've got a couple hundred left in there, I'll probably play the couple hundred through. But and it all depends on where you're at too, like for the night or your session or whatever. As soon as I get a good bonus round or something, I do a couple backup spins because I never leave something like that on the screen. It's just bad karma, I guess. I think it is too. There's no reason for it, but it's just bad karma. I think somebody told me that a long time ago when I left a good win on a machine, and some old lady came up to me. She's like, "You're supposed to play that off. Never leave that on it because it's bad. It's bad karma." And since that day, I've been doing it.
Well, you know how bad I am. I'll go up to a machine that's on top dollar that someone just left, and I'll play that backup spin because they didn't.
They didn't. Yep.
Yeah, and it has worked for me like 1 out of 10 times.
There's something to it.
There's something to it. Hey, I'll make it work eventually. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We got I've noticed the standard 3-credit pinballs in the new cabinets will not give line hits. Is it completely gutted? I played for over an hour without a single hit greater than mixed bars or a bonus. That's not bad.
I will tell you with 100% certainty that the programming and the math between the one in the old cabinet and the new cabinet is exactly the same. And we've heard this from the guy that actually programmed these things. I've gotten some pretty decent line hits, honestly. I've got the new, you're talking about this one over here. Just last night I was playing, I got 2 double diamonds and a triple bar, out of the blue. They can happen. It's just when you're playing top dollar, especially double top dollar, and you're playing pinball, line hits are just not frequent. It's built into the programming and this is a big reason why we say, especially on top dollar, oh my gosh, when I see people playing 1 credit on top dollar, I'm like, do yourself a favor, get up and go find a double diamond machine and play that if you're only willing to bet a single credit. Because on those games, like double top dollar, regular top dollar, pinball, you are playing those games for the bonus. That is how to maximize your potential return on those games. And if you're not willing to do that, you need to get the hell off and go to a regular double diamond or something with the base game that's very simple. Because the trade-off there is that they do not program a lot of line hits in that because of the bonus rounds. So what you're experiencing is perfectly normal. It's hard to get bonus. It's hard to get line hits on those games.
I mean, mixed bar with a bunch of bonuses, I'm fine with that. I mean,
yeah,
more line hits would be great, but mixed bars is about average.
Yeah,
and
more frequency of bonuses, a little bit longer.
Right. And if anyone plays double top dollar and just does one credit, they should be stripped naked, greased, and left in the worst part of Vegas.
There'd be a lot of naked people walking around.
Yeah, it's like, don't do that.
Seems like every time we're at Aria, I pass by and I see some knucklehead doing that. I'm like,
it's like, stop.
It kills me not to say something, but I refuse to tell them there because I don't want them to overextend themselves and then get into trouble and then blame me for it. So it's like, I'm just going to keep my lips sealed and hopefully they'll find us later to teach them how to do it.
So if you're going through a casino, do you ever feel not obligated, but more like, you've got a service to perform? If you see someone having a hard time, you're like, hey, let me explain this, blah, blah, and then you have to hand them like a business card or a poker chip or something so they know that you're not like just crazy.
Yeah, I mostly keep my mouth shut unless somebody asks me in the casino or they come out and tell me a myth, which, bless her heart, but there is this cleaning lady at Aria who I seem to always run into because I'm always over there playing where all the top dollars and stuff are. And she always comes around and she says, boy, while she's wiping things, she's like, you got to play the pinballs in the early morning because they always pay better in the morning. And I'm just
they always pay better in the morning.
It's like, that's not how it works. And I keep telling her that. And she's like, no, I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I'm like, what shifts do you work? She's like, mornings.
Early morning.
I'm like, you're not here at night to see it. I mean, but when I hear something like that, or I overhear somebody saying a myth, I will go up there and correct them. I do that.
I definitely, like, someone did at Oakland even, and I had to tell him, he's like, I don't know, he's like, I think there's a pattern to this. I'm like, there's no pattern.
Yeah.
Here's a poker chip.
Yeah. Here's a poker chip. Yeah.
Here's a poker chip.
I just saw the double diamond come up twice. That means it's coming around.
I'm not in that job. I'm in that job with poker chips.
Even some of the big YouTube channels out there are starting this stuff where it's like, if you keep seeing cherries, it's a good indication that bonus round's coming. No, it's not.
It's almost like they have to say something.
It's coincidence. Like
yeah.
It's just, there's no indication. Just like the symbol showing up above and below the pay line that it's coming soon. No.
So Motivational Mosky, thanks for mentioning the professor. Because I was originally a fan of that guy until I found you guys. I appreciate that, Moxie. So Mark and I do have like a back and forth on the professor. He'll send me clips, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
My background is a lot of statistics and math and physics and everything else. So when he mentions a lot of his over-the-head math, I instantly text Mark and like, he is just using this equation incorrectly to apply it to statistics, and it doesn't apply the same. You can't use one equation that is used for a specific point of engineering or calculus and apply it to everything. It doesn't work that way.
Right. No, it doesn't.
And I mean, I get it. You want to make, he has a bunch of degrees. That's great. I'm glad he has a large education. But at the same time, if you can't relate that education in a good and productive way, you're not really accomplishing anything.
Yeah. And you're hurting people.
People. I mean, I don't charge for anything.
Yeah.
You want to pay me? Great, pay me. But I'm not going to tell you anything different because it's just not going to benefit you. And I mean, sometimes I will tell people honest stuff that actually, like, I probably shouldn't say as stuff as I do that benefits them, because then it doesn't benefit me. But I'm like, that wouldn't be right of me to do that.
Right.
So it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But I like this next one from Way Too Alpha. Does the video roulette tier grinding strategy still work? It does. It is still at MGM Grand, Aria. Park MGM got rid of theirs. New York has theirs. It's still at Luxor. There isn't one at Mandalay Bay. And there is not one at Bellagio. But they're still there. You can find the 50-50 bets at those at those few properties. But just remember, not earning anything else. You are just earning tier. You cannot earn comps. You cannot earn free play. You can't do any of that stuff. It is just tier. And it will whack out your coin in for a while until it adjusts on that. Because at one time, in one day, I showed 80,000 in coin in. And I was like, that's not right.
Yeah.
I mean, $100 bets, 10 of them, that's 8,000. So, $100 bets, 10 of them, that's 1,000.
Yeah, check your math.
Yeah, check my math on that one. I just mentioned it.
The statistics
but
guy.
I had a run of about 80 spins. As I was thinking, that was 8,000 before I had a loss. And so that was really good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you are not going to win. You're going to lose, but the whole point is to lose slow enough to gain those tier. Yeah. And it's actually worked for people. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
You guys got your $100 method. I've got my tier grind, So it's like, I'm glad it works for people.
Absolutely.
Let's see there. And that's this is Steve Lowe answering them. Yep. The Roulette EGT gives almost 4x more tiers than slots. That is correct. I don't know why. I would figure it'd be the exact same as slots. Yeah.
Especially on the ones that allow you to offset. You'd think they would just turn that option off on all of them, that you couldn't, bet red and black at the same time to offset,
It's just a software. That's all it is. It's
it
not
is.
Like,
yep.
They just didn't load it as another machine because the exact same machine at Mandalay Bay doesn't allow you to do it. And Mark didn't believe me at first until we're at Aria. I'm like, watch.
He showed it to me. Yeah.
The nuttiest thing.
Because I always thought that video roulette terminals didn't allow you to earn tier credits. I thought that was blocked. And so, I was proven wrong.
Yep. I mean, it's one of those things like, it's crazy. Please film that for the D Lucky. I will. I'll do that for sure.
Yeah, he'll come down. We'll come back. He's not that far away.
It's going to happen.
So he'll come down.
Really not. It's just life getting in the way.
He's just lazy. I know.
We got one from Club Mike V. I've noticed some online slots, for example, IGT's Cleopatra 2 does not play any win music if you win your money back or less. Music only plays when you actually win more than your bet. I don't think I've so I do play some online slots. I play Jackpot Party. I play all of the My Vegas slots, but I don't play the IGT online. I'm gonna have to check that out because I would think it would play the exact same way.
Either. And I have Cleopatra 2 here, and I can't say I've noticed it on the real one either. Interesting. Yeah, Mike, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, now we've got something we got to look at.
There you go.
Now we're gonna be like playing tonight, trying to figure it out. Appreciate that, Mike.
That gives us something else to bring it in. E for effort.
Let's see here from the last Cowboy. You want to read this one? Go ahead. I'm taking all of them.
Okay, no, you're good. We're MGM loyalists. I haven't started visiting Caesars this year. How does HR Unity program compare to these two competitors? I don't like Caesars properties. A lot of people actually don't. When you compare them to MGM and their rewards program, I still think MGM's on top for several reasons. It did kind of suck that when they changed it, they did get rid of some stuff. They did add some stuff too, but they did get rid of a lot of things. But the thing with MGM that just impressed me more than anything is that, number one, the amount of properties they have, especially in Las Vegas, is just humongous. And so you can really experience different properties every time you go and have a different experience and not have to worry about spreading yourself too thin by going to other competing properties and, gambling on other programs, because that's, in my mind, that's a big no-no. You don't want to do that. You're spreading yourself too thin. You want to bundle all your gambling into the same program to maximize your benefits. But Caesars also is notorious for being kind of strict to the book, meaning that if you get an offer in the mail for, let's say, 2 nights free and $100 in free play, there is nothing you can do to try to get them to override that or to give you something better or to get, can you upgrade my rooms or can you give me a 3rd night free or whatever? In my experience, and guys, I got a casino host I just out of the blue. I mean, I was playing top dollar and a casino host came up to me. This was a long, long time ago. they can overwrite all that stuff. He gave me double the amount of free play I normally get on my birthday because I was there for my birthday once. I mean, they can do stuff like that. They can look at your account and make executive decisions right there on the spot, where Caesars is just cut and dry. What you see is what you get. And so I think MGM gives a more personal touch to their program. Like you can reach out and talk to them and say, I don't know, I've got a competing offer here with Caesars. Can you do something to bump it up? And most of the times they will do it. You know, you send them that offer, they'll give you a couple extra $100 free play or whatever it'll take. So that's my view on it. What about you, Dave?
I mean, I used to play Caesars a lot, but Caesars offers just went into the toilet. And MGM is a lot better. Now, I wish I still had a host at MGM. But at the same time,
you don't have a host. I don't get it.
You would think I'm somebody.
I don't get it. You're definitely somebody. You're out there often enough, and I mean, you're not playing penny slots, so I don't.
I'm not playing penny slots,
why you haven't got
a host yet. Well, I'm not hitting it as hard as I used to. That's for sure.
I think you're winning too much.
I've definitely been playing smarter. Maybe that's it. You know,
maybe you're just
I've been playing a lot smarter.
Yeah,
I wish that was my problem. I really do. But so for the Hard Rock Unity compared to the two programs, so the problem is that you really have MGM up here. I mean, MGM's up here. Everybody else is down here. That's sort of the issue with MGM is they've gotten almost to the point of where they're essentially the snobs of the market in comps, reward program, all that. So another thing that is coming out about MGM soon, they're stopping their tier match. They're just saying, forget it.
What?
F you. No longer tier matching.
Wow.
Now that's just in Vegas. I haven't heard if that's everywhere, but that's just in Vegas. The Unity program at the Mirage is pretty good, but at the same time, it's like the Unity program at Hard Rock Tampa or any of their properties. It really just, you have to bet a lot. You have to bet a lot in order to get those top tier comps and a host. You really do. It's a great property. I really like what Hard Rock Mirage is doing. The people are happy. The employees are happy. They've got everything's the same pretty much. They're starting to incorporate that Hard Rock stuff. But that Unity program, I went in with my free play on the tier credit match, brought in my Noir card that wasn't real. But we're not telling anybody that. And so what I did was I got a Noir card with my name on it. And I went everybody to tier match. So they gave me free play on that. And I went to the high limit room because you got free play. You got $500 in free play. We're going to risk it on a high limit slot machine, $10 top dollar. The high limit people were the nicest people, nicer than anywhere in Caesars and MGM. The slot manager came over and asked me how I was doing. No one else is there. They have a dedicated server there. I was still setting up my camera. She came around 3 times. I mean, like, that's incredible. If that level of service stays, Mirage is going to be a huge property. Hard Rock's going to be a massive property in Vegas. But as far as their program, it is just not there yet to compete with MGM. But of course, Caesars is either. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to go this real quick.
Right.
What kind of beer are you drinking?
Yingling. Texas just got this 2 years ago. It used to be only on the East Coast, east of the Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah. And Texas finally got it, and it's one of my favorites. So
we need to have the Bandit come and
cheers to you, Richard.
Give us some. All right, where we go here? There we go. I would never let comp points sit. All it takes is one change, and they're gone. This is very true, Steven.
That's just
I
true.
Cannot tell you. Yeah. Lots of programs have them to where they expire. Caesars expires. I have the Caesars credit card. I still do. I have 250,000 points that I've literally had forever. I will eat the buffet once in a while on those points, but otherwise I let them sit. I want to retire on those points.
Right.
But most programs, they expire in a year. MGM, you have to be gold or higher for those points to set or have the credit card for any property that offers a credit card and you have discipline in spending. I have to emphasize that. Discipline in spending. If you don't have discipline now, you're not going to have discipline in spending on a credit card. But if you do, get a Caesars or MGM credit card. I do recommend MGM because they do have more properties, more really things you want to spend your comps on. But you get that, you get instant Pearl status, and then you put your regular reoccurring bills, your electric bill, your cell phone bill, all those. Some things have double tier, double points. Put it all on there. Earn those comps, pay it off just like you would your normal bills. And if you can do that with everything, you're going to have tons of points. You're not going to have another room to spend on. It's just going to be free forever because we do that with Southwest, and it's just rack up points.
Yeah. And you get free parking if you have the card too. So.
And free parking, which I've never driven in Vegas.
Well, yeah, okay.
My coworker always rents a car in Vegas. I'm like, why? But he goes off strip. He goes to South Point. He goes to Red Rock. He goes to Ellis Island.
Yeah.
Back when American Casino Guide was actually a paper book and you had all the coupons in back.
Oh, I remember.
He would go everywhere. Free T-shirt at Ellis Island.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, some of those were really good. Like downtown, there were some of the best ones because it was 50-50 bet, $25 for any 50-50 bet. And it was just free. Get an instant 21 or an instant ace in blackjack. So like these were pretty good.
Yeah.
They were not bad comps.
I used to remember there was like free double down and there was all kinds of stuff like that.
The free double down. Yeah, that was another one. Okay, I got to do this one from Debbie. Tried Cherry's Jubilee on recent trip and no luck. I didn't have luck my last trip either. $100 went right through.
Yeah, I think it's all over the place with those. I still think they're good though. I think I've hit it 3 times now. I've hit it 3 times now. And never once did I put more than 1,000 in to get it. Just to say that. I mean, one time I hit it on my first $60. One time I hit it after I put 500 in it. So sometimes it, but you got to make the call of when your cutoff is. Like you're willing to put 300 through to see if you can get it. Then it might be worth it. But you got to make that call yourself, like how much you're willing to. I mean, all things considered, I think it's very realistic to believe that if you did put $1,000 through it, you would probably hit it. But it's never a guarantee. There's still a slot machine. You could have to put 12 or 1,300 in. It could happen. But they do hit frequently enough that most people don't have to commit to it that long. There was the story that we always tell that my host told me was during the multiplier days. I guess it's going on right now too, MGM. But a lady joined MGM for the first time. She's never had a card or whatever, and she heard about the Cherry's Jubilee. And he said she sat at 2 of them. She was playing 2 of them for 16 hours straight. And she ended up getting platinum status. That's how much grind that she put through. The points was unreal because they paid enough back that she could keep playing. Now, I could never last at those things for 16 hours. I mean, after about 30 minutes of them, I'm really bored and I got to go do something else. But
I need a bonus game.
Yeah, play a bonus game or something. But I mean, if you really want to stick to it and commit to those, you can last a really long time on Cherry's Jubilee. I mean, you really can. I mean, sometimes she would put 900 in and get 1,000 back. Well, that's still $100 up. But think of how much coin in she did in $900 worth. Probably $2,000 or $3,000 if you think about all the cherries, the mixed bars, and all that. So that's $3,000 on a $1 machine to get your money back and then a little bit more. I mean, it's just, if that's what you want to do, you can, and you have the bankroll to do it. I mean, there's still really good machines to play, but yeah, there's still never a guarantee.
I always play $100. That's my limit on Cherry.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, if you get it in $100, you're doing good. Yep.
Because you can get some wins, you get that $100 credit, and you are automatically reset. But I don't pay attention. This is our experience in January. I don't pay attention to the progressive. I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
I
it
don't care
doesn't
if it's
matter.
$1,000, $1,001.
No, because it could hit right back to back.
Hit anywhere. Just play it. Don't look for the one that's $1,167 or just play it.
Yeah, just play them.
I think that's the big thing is just play it.
Yep.
Hide that one for Debbie. You want to pick one there?
Yeah, sure. I'll pick a couple here. Steven says, how does running your slots affect the electric bill? Running them actually doesn't so much, but the AC unit that's in here does. In the middle of summer here, I actually turned all these on right before the show because the AC is having trouble keeping up. Some of these are producing a lot of heat in here, so I'm already sweating. But
they're
in the
old
summer,
machines.
it's brutal.
That's a lot of heat being generated.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. In the winter times here, these are my heaters. This room is always toasty warm. I never have to turn the heater on in here.
You mean the problem. 3 days it's cold?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's very
We are
true.
dealing with a lot of heat right here. I'm about 2 hours away from Mark, and it was 110 today. It's been brutal this summer.
Bad. It's bad. And then we have humidity.
And we're only in July.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I have about 10% more humidity than Dave does. So always. So you got always
the further south you go, just add 10%.
Yeah. Houston's the worst. You do not want to be in Houston right now.
Oh, new member Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to start doing stuff for members.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do a live stream for members or something. I am horrible. Okay. I'm gonna come up with something for you members. I promise. I
think I launched it too, and I haven't done anything, so don't feel bad.
It's like, tough. What do you do?
It's tough.
I'll probably just do something like when, send all the members some poker chips, something like that when I get my new poker chips in.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's coming, Tyler. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.
And Max says, Mark, what would be the best slots at Aria to grind some tier credits going in a couple weeks? Also, any new slots at Aria when you're recently there I should check out? Well, sadly, they've taken out the quarter and 50-cent 5-line top dollars. So that's what I would recommend.
Still at the front entrance?
They're gone.
Dang. I like
they're
those
gone.
Ones.
Yeah, they were there at the front entrance the last time I was there, but multiple people have told me that they're gone and they've looked around. So I'm not too surprised, honestly. They were one of the few that still had those. Luxor still has the quarters, I think. Although I heard they removed all those and they only have the $5 ones now in the high limit room. Anyway, next time I'm out there, I'm going to go scout that out. But anyway, back to your question. If you can afford the dollar one, $5 a spin, they still have those. And I think those would be really good for grinding. They also have a bank near the cashier's cage. There's 6 machines. They're right in front of the 2 big ass Wheel of Fortunes. You can't miss them. But there's a bank of 6 machines there. There's a double diamond. There's a triple diamond. I think there's a pink diamond. There's some other ones there, but those 6 are really good to play. Almost always there's somebody there, but I think they're $1, but they're about $2 a spin. So I think those are good to play as well. Other than that, the problem with Aria is they're starting to get rid of a lot of the classics too, just like everybody else is. And so every time we go, they remove another one. So even though I tell you those bank of 6, they've been there for probably 10 years. One of these days, they're not going to be there anymore. But I have a hard time believing that because people are always sitting there playing it. So those are the ones I recommend at Aria. Now, if that is outside of your budget, definitely walk over to Excalibur or to New York, New York. They have some lower denomination games over there. They have quarter double diamonds over there and stuff like that. They still have the dollar double top dollars there that people do pretty well on. But kind of the general rule in Vegas is the more ritzy the property, the least likely you're going to find the cheap and good machines to play. It's just the nature of where it is. And so you really have to venture out a little bit. But that's also why we pick Aria, because it's just centrally located. It's very easy to get to Park MGM. It's very easy to get to New York, New York. It's easy to get to Bellagio, although Bellagio is really, they used to have tons of quarter quarter old machines. They used to have tons in there. There was a 5 times pay 5 line that I loved. That was to quarters. They're mostly all gone now. So it is what
We
it
used to have
is.
more dollar machines.
Yeah.
And they're running out.
They're
but
all
my
$5
9 line
now. They keep moving
top
up.
dollar's still there.
Yeah,
It's still there.
Yep.
I played it last time I was there. Oh, and at Aria, Stacy's progressive machines are now down to only 6. They've removed the majority of those machines.
So if they remove 2, that means they had to feed the progressive a little higher, because you can't just get rid of progressive machines.
Right.
No, actually, that's not true, because they're linked.
No, because
it doesn't matter.
It's a linked, yeah.
It doesn't
so
matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Never mind.
So I think those machines are going to be there, and that progressive is going to be there for another 10 years.
I remember going to Aria 7 years ago, and it was at 1.4 million. 7 years, those have not hit.
Yep.
Yikes.
I'm not shocked. I mean, if it was a double diamond, you just had to get 3 double diamonds, it'd be done in a few months.
Yeah.
But
it's 3, 4, 5
to get
times
3,
pay,
4, and 5. And it's one line. It's not like it's 5 line. So there's only one combination that hits it.
Did you see the video that Stacy did where she got the 3 and the 4 and then a blank?
Yes. I held my breath. I was like, this is it. This is it.
That is the closest I think anybody's probably ever come.
I think what shocks a lot of people is that we watch a lot of channels as well.
Oh, yeah. That's how I learn about these games, guys.
Right.
You just got to watch these people.
It's like, that's scouting reports, that's people finding machines. I watch a lot of Let's Go Hand Pay guys because they're there almost every week, it seems like. And they have found some great machines hidden in the way. They started playing a lot at Circus because they found a lot of the old school games.
Yeah.
And it's trash, but I mean, it's something.
The one time it's okay to wear a mask is to go there. So you have to smell all this stuff.
Oh, place is horrible. What we got from Rocky Mountain High Limit Slots? Mark and Dave beat the summer heat and head up to Black Hawk, Colorado to cool off and play some hot slots. I haven't been to Black Rock in 20 years. I'd say easily 20 years.
I think, Dave, are you ready? I think you're ready for another vacation. Go talk to your boss. Say you're going to be gone for a week, and then we're going to do a tour.
That'd be awesome. And
that would be a lot of fun.
When I win that Powerball, I got my Powerball ticket right here. As soon as I hit that, we're going.
It's like 550 or something now.
Yeah,
probably higher.
550 million. We're gonna win. It's any day now. It's gonna win. I freaking feel it. I would like to get back to Colorado. Like I said, I haven't been to Black Rock in so long, or Black Hawk, but it was fun when I went there.
Never been.
It's so you come around a corner, and all of a sudden you're in this valley. It's like right out of Jeremiah Johnson, except there's casinos on the edge of the cliffs.
Oh, wow.
So it's neat. It is neat. It's someplace definitely, if you're there during the winter, check out Black Hawk. It is kind of cool. It's only this one area. That's it. So it's interesting. That's another one here.
Maybe we should rapid fire some of these.
There we go. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, Wesley says, is there any difference in the payout of a slot machine located in the high limit room and main floor if the machine is identical with the same denomination? Generally, no, but every casino could be different. I do know that at MGM Grand, they are very consistent in the high limit room about all denominations are set the same. Not what I mean is all the $10 machines in there are set the same. All the $25 are set the same, because the one thing is high limit players expect consistency, and they don't like it when anybody is monkeying with what they've been used to playing for so long. And that's why a lot of high limit rooms have those old machines in there that have been there for decades. Because the worst thing you can do to a high limit player is to remove one of those machines or tinker with it, because they'll know. But I have heard at properties like MGM Grand, and this is from one of the casino hosts there, that if you do have a $5 machine that is inside of the high limit room, it could be set a couple of % higher than the ones out on the floor that are $5. Could be, just because of that reason. But again, like I say so many times, guys, like you're never even a 2% difference or even a 5% difference. You're not going to notice that in any kind of short-term play. You'd have to be going there for months and months and months and months and playing those same machines to notice any kind of difference. Because even a machine that is set really low can be a, in quotes, winning machine for the weekend, because there's not cycles, but it's just part of randomness. Yeah, it can be up and down. And again, that's why casinos don't change the payback percentages on the weekend, because there's no guarantee that by doing that, the machine is going to suddenly be in their favor that weekend. The opposite could be true. I always use the example.
It's not worth the work.
No, it's not worth the work either. I mean, they have to get the gaming commission involved and all that stuff. I always use the example of this Lord of the Rings, because out of all the machines in here, it's the only one I've never reset, like memory cleared or anything like that. And it has something like 40 or 50,000 games being played so far. The setting is 90%, and it's around 72% right now. After 40,000 games. Okay, so even if I were to change that to 92%, it could still be sitting at 73%, or it could be at 120% for the weekend. You just don't know. It's a long.
Whenever it does catch up, it's going to be fire.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that this has a progressive, right? So if somebody hits the progressive, it's going to jump that up because of the law of averages. It's just a lot of numbers. I mean, You think about 10 million pools, that's a lot of data. That is a lot of wins. That is a lot of losses. But the way those payback percentages are meant is it's just a bell curve, and it's going to eventually, reach the top middle, which is where the payback percentage setting comes into play. So, yeah, but try not to get so caught up in that, Wesley. Honestly, play within your budget and play the games you want to play, regardless of where it is.
If you see a 97%, play it, but don't get caught up on what is 97%, what's 98%, what's 72%. Don't even worry about it. Just
because just play. 98%.
Same probability.
In theory, 98% means that if you put $100 in, you're going to get $98 of that back. Does that happen? Not frequently. No. Usually you put $100 in, you end up at zero. But you could put $100 in, and your first spin could be $200. You've doubled your money. That's over 100%. But it takes a long time. Eventually it'll get there. It's just all math. It's all math.
So did I get any good comps off those 80K coins? No.
It's just for grinding.
Again, you can't earn comps on those machines. They're just tier grinding. No comps at all. Actually, my comps have gone downhill on MGM ever since the first of the year. And actually after the first quarter, now I've only got midweek for comps for rooms. And I'm like, dang, this is getting harder and harder.
Yep, it definitely is. And
this is definitely a hope for this one.
This is for Mark. I think you know what the machine is called that pays $1,000 only when it hits. I heard you guys talk about it.
The tax-free one.
The quick hits.
Wheel.
Yeah, the quick hits high limit is what it's called.
Because there's no taxes on the bonus.
So Aria has a couple now in the high limit room. They're $10 and $25. You're not going to find them much lower than that. I think there's a $5 version, but you're not going to find it lower than that because it's meant to be a high limit game. They're starting to get them. They're starting to spread out. I know Bellagio has a couple. Those are the only two properties I know of, but I'm sure that it's making its way out there. WinStar had a couple. They were down at the time I was there, but they did have a couple, and they were $10 denomination.
Is that a 5-credit machine, or is it
a 2-credit
machine?
2 credit.
Okay, that's not bad. That really isn't that bad.
So it plays exactly like Blazing 7 or Red Hot 7s with quick hits. Plays exactly like that old classic game where you can get the quick hits in any symbol or any position. If you get 3 of them, then you win the minor kind of, you would say the minor jackpot, the second tier one. And then if you got them all 3 on the line, you win the top one. It's the same one as that. They just brought it back. And so the way they do it is that, let's say that you get a line hit that pays $4,000. Well, instead of it paying you $4,000, it gives you 4 spins on the wheel. And the wheel, you basically land on $1,000 every time you spin the wheel. But it gives you you get the $1,000 and it adds it to your credit meter. And then you get another spin and then it adds it to your credit meter. And so that prevents the lockup from So it's pretty clever. It was a way to get around the rules there.
I'm
Wish all
really
machines would do
sure
that.
in the long run, you're still losing money on that machine.
No, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to get 3 quick hits off the pay line, guys, or even on the pay line. It's a tough one.
I totally agree with this one too. Hopefully you get your hand on some more of those Disappearing Top Dollar machines.
Man, it's getting really, really hard. I used to see 7 or 8 years ago, I bought my first double top dollar for $1,500, I think it was, or $1,800. Now they're pushing 5,500 or 6,000 if you can find them. If you can find them. And some of them that I've seen are in such rough shape that you wouldn't want to own it. Like it just, the glass is faded, the reel strips are completely faded, may not even work. And the other problem with those is there's a display. You know, the display that is right between the try again and take offer buttons that shows you what your credit offer is and all that. It's a highly specialized VFD vacuum display. When those go bad, the repairability percentage on those is around 10 or 20%. So when those go bad, you have to find another one. And the only way to get those now is to buy another machine that is a top dollar machine or some other kind of Barcrest machine that use that same VFD display. I've already had one go bad on here, and I had to take one out of the Greed is Good that I had just so I can keep double top dollar working. And so you have that to deal with. So the problem is that I'll get a picture from my dealers that say, I just got these 4 top dollars in. All 4 of them are missing that display, which means it's a no-go. I would never buy them because I'm never going to find that thing. You know, those 4 got removed because somebody needed them. And this is the way it is on these old ones. The simpler the machine, the easier it is to get, the cheaper it is to get. But those are typically not the ones that are sought after. So considering this, how many people want top dollar and how many people want pinball, factor that in with parts becoming extremely limited, as well as the cabinets themselves becoming almost non-existent. That drives the prices way up. You know, that's just economics, right? And so you have to deal with that. And so, man, I know you want one. You've told me that you want one. I swear to God, if I ever hear of one coming through here, you'll be the first one to know about it. But I have
that's
not
really
seen
the only
one
machine I'd ever want either. I'd
in
only
a year.
want a top
I have
dollar
not
machine.
seen a double top dollar in a year.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's really tough.
Everyone's like, oh, I got a double diamond machine for cheap.
Yeah. There's plenty of double diamonds out there. I think what's going to happen is people are going to start buying the regular top dollars and converting them to double top dollar, which you can do. You got to get new glass for it. You've got to get new reel strips. Reel strips are the real problem. Glass, not so much. But I think that's what's going to end up happening. Is people are just going to buy the top dollars and then convert them over.
I wouldn't want the green double top dollar emblem. I wouldn't want that.
No.
That's my least favorite. I love the fact that they're putting the new reels on the older machines, so they're refreshing them. I don't like the green one.
Yeah, no, definitely not the green one.
I don't know who made that one. They should stop. There's one for you, Mark.
And, Larry, I saw your comment on the video I posted was supposed to be private. I didn't click the right thing. It was instructions for a guy that's getting a pinball machine on what he needs to do. So Mark, I saw the Elton John pinball machine in your video today. Is that new? Are you getting into pinball machines? So I actually started on pinball machines. So he's talking about the Captain Fantastic over here pinball machine. That's what got me into this whole mess with slot machines, to be honest. I started on that. I love tinkering with stuff. I love electronics. I love learning about new technologies and things like that. I'm a software developer. This is what I do. I've been a computer nerd since I was a kid, a little kid on my Commodore 64, punching out code, doing those kinds of things.
So was my first one.
Yeah. So I love tinkering. So I got this pinball machine. It was handed down in the family, and it was not working when I got it, but I was able to get it working. So it was pretty exciting. And then I said, it'd be cool to get a couple of slot machines in here. And then the rest is history. It kind of took over from there.
That's just what happens in a hobby. You just
it
bam.
Is.
Now it's a hobby.
I'm the kind of person too, and Dave probably is the same. Is that I will take a topic and then just learn it to death until there's nothing else to be learned from it, and then I move on to something else.
Move on to something else.
So maybe that'll happen. I won't have slot machines anymore. I don't know. I have a lot of fun with these, so I think they're going to stay, and they're good retirement fund here.
And this is good advice from Larry for the tier match for gold for top dollar. So for Hyatt and MGM. So here's the catch. You got to have status to get status. Now there's pathways to get multiple status, but if you search YouTube for MGM Hyatt tier match, there's walkthroughs on how to show you how to do it. You have to have gold to keep gold. You can't make gold out of lead. So keep that in mind. If you have gold, go to Hyatt, put down, you get Explorer status automatically, and you can match that again. But now if MGM is actually getting rid of tier match, that's probably going to go away as well. I've heard the rumor for quite a while that the Hyatt partnership is going away, so this may be the year. We don't know, but again, you have to have status to keep status to get status. So that's why I'm a big preacher on the tier match. So when tier match season comes around in January, you want to take your former match, your former card that's good until January, and you want to match that around as possible as you can. I still have not found a way for all the statuses I've got to get back to platinum on MGM. I've got the top level at Hard Rock. I've got the top level at Circa. I've got platinum at Cosmo, and I got something at somewhere else. I can't remember which one it is. The Downtown Grand. I got all the top level at all those, but I still can't find a way back to platinum, and that kills me.
We did a status match at GSR in Reno, and the one stipulation they had is that you had to maintain the status within the first 90 days, or you would fall back down. So
wow,
that means I won't. Next time I go out there, I'm not going to have it because I'm not going to go out there in the next 90 days. So they did tell us that. So I'm like, well, what's the point then? Because I'm not going to be out here in the next 3 months.
With the Hard Rock match, I actually have it all of 2024 as well, because I earned it within the 2023 year. Oh, and Resorts World matched me up to their max level too, but you don't get a new card for it. They use all the same cards for it.
Yeah,
not cool. But always try it. Try everything you can.
That's
Scam
right.
every which way.
Dave is good at that.
Take everything, leave nothing. So this is a question for you for sure.
Oh, okay.
Did Reno have more
lower denomination machines than Vegas? Not at GSR, unfortunately. It was pretty standard, pretty much dollar to start with. There were some lower denomination penny machines. There was a couple that we liked playing that were about $1.35 a spin. But generally speaking, no. I don't think Brantley and I, or not Brantley, Dave and I, Jesus. Sorry, Dave.
Wrong channel.
I know. I apologize profusely. Dave and I were talking before we went live here is that one of the things I noticed when we were out there, we were out at Lake Tahoe, my wife and I, for about 4 days before we went to Reno for the events and stuff. And walking through two of the casinos there was a Harrah's that we walked through and played at, and then also a Hard Rock. The Hard Rock was like a low denomination person's dream. They had quarter pinball in there. They had a bunch of quarter and dollar double diamonds and triple diamond machines. They had a lot of the old 5 real quick hits, which I think are still pretty fun to play. There was just a lot of the quarter top dollar in there. They just had a lot of stuff that was lower in denomination. I was really glad to see that. Some casinos out there are still sticking to that and not going crazy. I mean, even in their high limit room, the highest bet was $15. That was possible.
That's not bad.
Which is really unheard of for most casinos. And that was a Hard Rock casino. It was pretty big. So, if you are in the Reno area and you want to play some low denomination stuff, I can't speak for all the other like Peppermill and all those because we didn't go to them. I don't know if they have a lot of low denomination stuff. It's probably mostly penny slots. But if you really want some old classic reels, drive 30 miles south to Lake Tahoe. And it's amazing down there anyway, guys. Way better than Reno. You have a blast. And go hit up Hard Rock or the Harrah's Casino there because they had some low limit stuff.
I always just say the people who went to Reno regret going to Reno.
Yeah. It was okay. The hotel was garbage. It was horrible. We just did not have a good experience there. And even as a channel and, what we were offered and stuff was really poor compared to all the other places that we've been to. So all those things considered, it was not a really good first experience of Reno. I'm not giving up because we only went to one place. And I definitely want to go back to Lake Tahoe again because that was a lot of fun.
Lake Tahoe is beautiful, relaxing. Especially the winter.
60 degrees, it was just amazing from being here. So we'll be back and may stay at a different place in Reno just to check it out. But I don't know. Vegas has a special place in my heart. Again, that's where all my comps are. And it's really difficult to go somewhere else because all the comps are there. And if I'm going to gamble my money, I want to gamble at some place that I can, keep earning those comps and, express points and all that other express credits and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to break away from that. If you're gonna gamble, just stay someplace that you're gonna keep building those comps up.
So I got a quick comp story. Then I think this last question is for you. Then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
So I went to St. Louis back in May, and traveled with a bunch of people. And I said, "Hey, look, I got comps for St. Louis Horseshoe. It was at the Hotel Lumiere, which they also have a Four Seasons, which is the nice hotel." But I saw I had a booked comp room. And then I was telling everybody, "Oh, look, I can book another comp room." I booked a second comp room, which you should not be able to do. You should not be able to do for the same weekend, book the same comp room. For shits and grins, I went in and booked a third comp room. When I got there and checked in the 2 runs, I booked a third room. And I'm like, this should not happen. So anytime you see that and you can wiggle that in, do it. Never rule out the chance.
They can't take it away from you after you've done it.
Yeah. They're probably not too happy because I hit the jackpot and, took away 3 rooms from them. But still, always game the system as best you can. They're not going to give you anything you didn't earn and you didn't pay triple for. So anytime you find a loophole. And this question is definitely for you.
No, okay. Richard says, what is preventing electronics company from manufacturing OEM type parts and for these older slots? Let me answer that one first. Demand. What I'm doing here, we are less than 0.2% of people that deal with slot machine stuff. There's just no interest to do that. Casinos are not going to be on board. They are not interested in repairing slots. If a slot goes bad, especially if it's old, they're going to get rid of it and they're going to replace it with one that has a warranty on it and support and all that kind of stuff. So it's not in any manufacturer or any electronics company's interest to do that. Now, some things may get better. Like we have in my circle of people that I buy machines from and all that, we have a lot of people that are very good with electronics repair, microelectronics repair, all those different types where they can repair boards, they can repair capacitors all the way down to the microchips, like you can just not see with the naked eye kind of thing. And they are pretty good at what they do, but not everything is 100% because they are OEM parts. And sometimes you just cannot find replacements. They require special chips. You need to be able to program those chips. People like me do not have the software, or we have the software to program the chips, but we don't have the actual content of the chips. And the only way to get that is from a known good chip. And so you kind of see the problem, right? It's just, there's just not enough demand for manufacturers to pay any interest into it. So we just have to rely on hoping that these parts can be repaired. The nice thing is that the machines that I deal with and the machines that I refurbish and sell back to the public are machines that I know will last a long time and that have plenty of accesses to parts. If it's a highly specialized machine with like maybe a giant curve screener, I am not interested in that because it could become a very giant, heavy paperweight. And that's no good for
really anybody. Expensive TV.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So, yeah, that's why you see a lot of the S2000s, which are kind of like the double top dollar. That's what it's called, an S2000. You see a lot of those out there because they were just so rigid and so reliable that even to this day, 20, 30 years later, they're still running well. And there are so many parts out there for it. So it's very easy to get replacements. But yeah, you get into the specialized ones, it becomes a problem. But yeah, that's what's going on there, Richard. It's just no demand.
All right, I said last question, but I also say last spin a lot. So this is definitely
Okay.
the last question. What is your highest priority when assessing a rewards program? What do you tend to look for? I tend to look for the selection of properties. I want a good selection of properties.
Yeah.
And realistically, when you're looking at a program, you're looking at MGM or Caesars for a number of properties. Then you want, what do I get for my comps? Am I getting good rooms? Can I get a good selection of rooms? What else can I get for my comps? Can I get food? Can I get free play? So I look for all that. I look to make sure that I'm not only just in a place I want to be, Vegas, but also in a room I want to be in. And I've bounced around rooms. I've done a different room every 3 days. I'm in a Vegas because I want to experience those different rooms. It's a pain in the ass, and I don't do it much anymore, but I definitely do that. And I know people who will book multiple rooms at multiple properties just because of offers. If you got a comp offer at Caesars with some free play, book it and book your MGM if you want to stay there. I have booked a hotel room at Circus before because it was free, because it came with $50 worth of comps, or $50 worth of free play and $10 worth of crap food I could get. So
Right.
like all that stuff, you just do that. What about you, Mark? Do you look for the same thing?
Exactly the same. Yeah. I mean, and I pick one and stick with it. I mean, you guys know that by now. If it's, I will always play with the player's card, hands down.
Always.
I just, perfect example. Just today, I got an email from Harrah's in Lake Tahoe, and I already have a 3-night complimentary stay. Guys, I played maybe $300 or $400 there. I mean, it's like, you got to sign up for the cards. Hell, who knows when we'll be back in Lake Tahoe? And now we got a 3-night stay at a casino, whether we want to gamble or not. So,
but that's an incentive to come back.
It's incentive to come back. And so they reached out, and Hard Rock didn't. And I spent more at Hard Rock than I did at Harrah's. So there's a good winner right there.
Smaller markets are weird like that. Smaller markets are weird.
Some casinos know what they're doing, and others don't. And so, like Dave said, I mean, just take a look at what you're getting. If you are just starting out, don't stick with one. Test the waters. Go get a card at each of the different ones, play a little at each property, and then come back and wait 2 months and see what you get. And whoever wins, go back there and just keep giving them their patronage. Just evaluate. But once you do find that one that you like, that seems to be giving you the best attention and the best comps and the best bang for your money, stick with it as long as you possibly can. And if you're going to gamble at that property. If you do go to another property, limit yourself. Like, if your gambling budget going to Vegas is $1,000 and you are an MGM loyalist, don't go spend $900 at Caesars and $100 at MGM. You're going to shoot yourself. You want to do the $900 at MGM and the $100 at Caesars. So that's how I look at it.
And if you're new to gambling or Vegas, stay downtown, stay off strip, stay on strip, stay at multiple casinos.
Right.
Definitely, like Mark said, don't limit yourself. Play the field.
Mm-hmm.
You may find out that, you're a big fan of actually downtown, and downtown has the one card pretty much everywhere. It's Circa, D, Golden Gate. I mean, most of the properties. Play it around. Find out what you like. Now, here's a quick trick question for you, Mark. How often have you been to the Aria pool?
0.
Me too. I have been to one pool in the last 26 years.
Yeah.
Which was the Paris pool. My other buddy Mark and I were stone broke on our 3rd day, and we had 5 days. So we went.
So you decided to add sunburn on top of it?
Worst pool in Vegas. It's just a circle, and that's it. Nothing else.
Oh,
but that's the last time I've been to a pool. I never go. always doing something
I
else.
never do either. I don't really have an attractive belly. I'm not sure I want to be out there at the pool.
And there's no slot machines at the pool.
Oh yeah, there's that too, right? Real funny story. I don't know if you have to look this up. Dave, you might know this story. There is a back when they first built the Wynn and the Encore, there was an issue where the curvature of the glass was causing a beam of light from the sun,
the laser beam,
to hit the pool, and it caused a guy to get third-degree burns in the pool. Have you heard that? It was a news article from about 15 years ago, I think, when they first built it. How wild is that to be swimming in the pool and you just swim right through that and get third-degree burns?
The laser beam. I remember that story, and it heated the pool up before it actually opened.
Yeah.
The pool was getting to unbelievably hot temperatures. They couldn't figure out why. And it was because of the laser beam. They actually ended up
just the curve and the angle of the glass. It was just hyper focusing that sun.
They actually ended up re-angling a lot of that glass.
Yeah,
like it was.
Isn't that wild? I love that story.
But it's one of those crazy stories, that
it is
that makes Vegas great.
It's true. All right.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you stopping by.
I had fun.
Hope you come back more.
We'll do this again for sure.
Awesome. And definitely we'll see more of Mark and I. We're going to try to hit WinStar soon. Try to hit his place as soon as I get my car fixed. It's a 28-year-old Ford Ranger. Ford fucking Ranger. But it's still running for the most part.
That was my first car, Ford Ranger.
New cars coming soon. It's just the time to buy a new car sucks.
It is
bad horrible
right now. Yeah, it's bad.
But I'm working on it. But thank you, Mark. Man. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by.
Yep.
Appreciate y'all. We had a lot of people. We had like nearly 50 people. That's
that's
We're going to do this more. More live streams are coming, I promise. Just got to make time.
Smart.
Gamble safe. That's right.
All right. We got it.
Have a good one, guys. Take care. Have a great night.
Bye, guys.
You have a good one too, Mark.
Yep.